riders or not. Today on the vlog, I am at Kickback. As soon as I stepped into the show, of course I spotted something familiar. Something I saw built in front of my eyes. I even sort of helped a little. This is Adam's bike, built at Mint Customs. And Mint Cheesy. I interviewed Simon last year about and freshly finished Mint Menage. That is still waiting for me to make an episode. And we just found a local store.
Hello. Lots of good stuff here. Lots of different stuff.
Not just in this, because we just
got
came
Street
in.
Fighter section in the middle, and then in the next one you've got the Cub section, which I find interesting, which is the mopeds. And I'm like, it's a big thing, obviously, which I didn't know. So that's interesting.
Okay.
Some nice trade stands.
If I'll bring my build next year,
Yes, you'll be.
it will be in this
second
section, not in this section.
Street Fighter and race specials.
In specials.
Race specials.
Race specials. Because I'm building a racing bike,
Yes.
not a chopper.
Yeah, that's it.
Next year. Hello, do you like the show?
I do.
We organise the show once or twice a year, depending on, or 3 times sometimes, but because of the pandemic, of course, it's been impossible. I did one last year in May in the town hall in Cheltenham, and the last time we had a big one indoors, which was 4 years ago now, I think. We also do the national championships, of course, so that takes a bit of organising. But I think because it's the first show of its kind for quite a few years, everyone has just come out and is just desperate to get out and have some fun with their friends and their bikes. There's obviously been a lot of people building bikes in their sheds in the last 2 years. So it's one of the biggest turnouts for a custom show only for many, many years.
Next year, can I bring my bike to that area?
No.
What would you say the highlight of the show?
Well, I haven't had a chance yet. I've only just stopped working on getting everybody in and getting everybody out and getting everybody. So I haven't had a chance to look at the bikes yet. I don't know. I think the quality and the number of bikes is fantastic. The quality and the number of the traders and the support has been brilliant. The visitors are ace. So it's been ever so good all round really, and the weather's been kind to us. So we got lucky.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay,
we'll
nice.
catch you at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe you will tell us which one is your favorite.
Well, I'm not allowed to really.
Oh, you're not
But
allowed to?
I can, but I mean, there's so many. I wouldn't know where to start.
And we have Graham from Plymouth,
Yeah, Plymouth.
who built this Yamaha chopper. A little bit about your bike.
It's an XS650 from 1981. Got it from Canada. It was imported to the UK, and then I chopped it in half. TC Bros rear tail, pastel blue metal flake, loads of chrome, loads of silver.
Are you a professional bike builder?
This is my first bike build. I'm actually in the Marines, so I'm serving armed forces at the moment.
Are you thinking to continue that?
Yeah, I've got a couple of other builds. I've got 2 Harleys I'm building at the moment, and a couple of other customers' bikes as well.
Can we come visit you and get more information about your build?
Of course you can, yeah, definitely.
Down to Plymouth.
Yeah, we'd love it. Yeah.
We're going down to Plymouth sometime this summer to film more, and maybe one of your other builds will be finished by that time.
Yeah, we've got 2 more that should be done by May. So yeah, thanks very much.
That's great. That's great.
All right.
I am the person that orchestrated this, didn't build it. When I first saw it, it had the tank and the hardtail frame on it, but it was a non-runner. It was being advertised for sale as an 840 Halco conversion. Halco was a company, Hall & Co., owned by Tony Hall, who was famous for flat tracking and racing XS650 engines. And he used to do an 840 conversion, and he would mark his 840 conversions by putting a Halco tuning plate on the side of the motor. So this bike was being advertised for sale as an Halco 840. Tony Hall has sadly passed away, but his son Dean Hall is still very much in the environment. And he saw the bike and recognised that it was not one of his father's 840 conversions. An appropriate challenge was made. The bike was withdrawn for sale whilst they got to the bottom of the history behind it. And a couple of months after that, I approached the lad who owned the bike. And he was a marathon runner. The engine's got very high compression, 9:1. It's not a standard 650. He had all sorts of trouble, couldn't start the bike, and at that point couldn't sell it because it wasn't what he had purchased and what he thought he had bought. So we took it from him, and as a non-runner, we tore the bike back down again, sorted out some of the running issues, identified that the motor had in fact been worked on by not Tony Hall but another XS legend called Howard Smedley at Smedspeed, and Howard lives not far from me in Surrey, and so we rode the bike over to him and he recognised it. He said, Kevin, he said, I've worked on this motor. He said, come out to my workshop. He gave me the video, he gave me the photographs showing where they'd split this motor down and actually overbored it and given it its first overbore from 75 to 81 mil, creating a 750 motor out of that 650. So it's not a Halco 840 tuned motor as the plate would suggest. It is a Smedspeed 750 tuned engine.
And that's why when we see it in the magazines, it has the title Red Herring, because it's not what it appears to be. The trophy is a trophy from last year, Backstreet Heroes. It won a round at the Ace Cafe in London. And we were asked to bring it here and show it today, and we're absolutely delighted to be here and talk about it.
Do you ride it?
Oh, absolutely. I've ridden this bike 2,500 miles since the engine was rebuilt and run in. My ambition is this year or next to ride this to Holland or to Belgium. But before I do that, I need to reinstate a sissy bar on the back so I can put a little tiny tent and a sleeping bag on it. But yeah, this bike is absolutely ridden. It's not normally trailered and from show to show. As nice as this is to talk about the bike and to talk about the history of it and the people that have worked on it, it's had 17 previous owners, all of whom have played a part in adding, taking away bits of it that create it to what it is today. So I'm just the last in the long line of custodians.
So that's my own personal one. This one isn't numbered.
That's what you ride.
This one isn't numbered. This one's got my initials on it. So I'm selling it actually. We're going to get rid of that one.
Why?
Do you want the honest truth? Because I want to put the money into parts for other models.
It's not many girl builders out there.
No, not
and it's
really.
so good. Like I'm hyper excited. So I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna show too much of it. Show a quick glimpse through the bike, seeing the girl build it. But her other build, the second one, your dad said, is in Backstreet Heroes this month. I'm coming to yours and doing and interviewing and showing both of your bikes. How old are you now?
I'm just turned 20.
Why? Why decided to build bikes?
So my dad used to ride and my mum used to be a motorcycle instructor, and they met while they were training and then got together a few years later because my mum was still married at the time. And then they stopped kind of when I was born because they didn't really have as much to do, and my dad couldn't really afford to ride for much longer. But then I did my work experience in high school at my mum's, the place my mum used to work for motorcycle instructing, and I really wanted a bike. I just wanted to get a bike because I loved it. It was fantastic. And then we started on my dad got one and did his up so he could kind of get his mind back into it, because obviously he hadn't done any in a while.
And he said you asked him to build your bike and he said do it yourself.
Yeah, basically.
That's like a dad of a year. I'm coming to yours to interview you both. Okay.
Fantastic, yeah.
Great. Subscribe. I just found out from Adam some of the chopper builders rode in this morning on these bikes, on these pieces of art. They rode in this morning
and then cleaned them off. Once they got them onto the plinths, they were then cleaning them. So from about 8 o'clock this morning, because obviously we transported ours down because of the distance, and then the room was quite empty, and then bikes started riding in, and in the Street Fighter section, which I couldn't believe. When you see the standard of the bike and the paintwork, they actually rode them to the show and put them on the plinths.
That stuff is real.
Built to ride.
Oh yeah.
a 100-litre pressure vessel in it that holds the water. We originally had a 50-litre pressure vessel in it, and we've tested it, and we did 121 miles an hour in just over 2 seconds. So that's been tested over winter. The bigger pressure vessel's been put in it, and now we're waiting to test that. Hopefully, the end of this month or next month, we may well be able to test that.
Hit the world record.
There's only specific dates that are set up to be able to do records, and the next one is in September when the Guinness Book of Records, and that's when we hope to go for the British land speed record. And then in next year we hope to go for the world record.
And your husband built that?
This is my husband. Yeah. He's built. He designed it, and he's built virtually everything for it.
At home?
At home.
At home?
In our shed.
This is a shed build?
It is, yes. Yeah.
Hitting the world record.
We've got another 3-wheeler bike that holds the British land speed record as well, so this was before this one.
We just heard some incredible things about you building this in the shed.
In the shed with
and
no
breaking
windows.
and planning to break the world record on it, riding it yourself.
That's correct. Yeah. It's been a dream. I like steam. I like bikes. It's an untapped source. There's superheated water, and the amount of power you can get out of compressed water is phenomenal. Well, you can't compress water, but you can heat it up, which generates pressure. We heat the water up to 200 degrees C, and that brings the temperature, that brings the pressure up to 30 bar, which is about 500 psi. Once we're there, we can maintain it as long as you want. It's not going to evaporate or boil off because it's in a pressured vessel. Once we're ready to go, we undock it from the mothership and ceremoniously take it off it, and then bring it to the line. And there's no heat source at that point, it's just potential energy. It's a lot of hot water under a lot of pressure wanting to escape. And then when we open the main valves, the water rushes out of the back, and it's still water until it gets to the nozzle, which is the rocket nozzle, and that's called a de Laval nozzle. And at that point it flashes to steam and expands at a rate of 1,600 to 1. And it reduces its temperature, so as it's coming out it's only about 40-50 degrees C. And it's kicking out 25 litres of water per second. And if you times that by 1,600, you can see how much water it's producing. It's phenomenal. And the water comes out around about 1.1 Mach. That's just over the speed of sound. So you can imagine the noise, it's incredibly noisy. But when you're riding a bike, it's super silent because all that's happening behind you. So all you can hear is your visor whistling. It's really quiet.
You already rode the previous model with 50 litres and this one is 100.
That's correct, yes. Yeah, so not even I know what to expect. I've got a rough idea what to expect. It's going to be harsh. The acceleration's going to be harsh, really harsh. So I'm prepared. I understand what's required, and nobody knows it better than myself. So let's bring on next month.
Let's see what happens. We will shame Adam now. Adam bought his wife a car and promised to rebuild it to make it nice, fast, and everything you want. It's been a year. He was building bikes and not even touching her car.
Yeah.
leave a comment for Adam.
Her
Yeah.
car is nearly done.
He keeps saying that and has been saying that since December. It's nearly done. It's nearly done.
My bike,
There's nothing
my bike,
done.
my
Nearly
bike is
nothing done.
But his bike's done though.
My
Did you
bike is
notice
done.
that? Yeah.
Yes, oh, the bike got
3
done
months.
very
He took-
quickly in
3
3
months.
months.
He took my car to get it done, and in that time he's bought a Harley, done it all up, and got it to a show. And I've
And the
still
car
not
is
got my
still
car back.
standing.
Yes.
So it was a lovely birthday present for that very short period of time that I did see it.
It's almost done.
But his bike's done. Did I say that?
So next time I'll see you at
car will be
Mint
done.
Customs,
Yes.
I'll shout, go away! Go build the
It's
car.
a disease. I have a disease where I buy something and I take it apart and make it better.
Must be a selfish disease that disease can get done for his bike, but for other people's stuff, no. No.
You can relate to that.
You are officially shamed
Thank
now.
you. Thank you.